course designer and passionate horse person for over 40 years. Last 20 plus years has been on the Australian selection panel, member of our National Jumping Committee, member of Jumping in Queensland, and an FEI international course designer. It's been wonderful to have Graham here, regarded as one of our best course designers in the country. Aaron Gutoff has been his assistant throughout the show. In our judges box, we do welcome Mr. Tim Danzy and Megan Scrivener and all of our team here who are working behind the scenes. Well, we cast our attention to ring number 2 for results of class number 345, the best riding pony gelding, and congratulations to the winner, catalogue number 1929, Elise Ranza from Ebenezer here in New South Wales with Pickwick Park, Mr. Darcy. Congratulations to that lovely exhibit over there in front of the Cumberland stand, being awarded the Purple Sash, the best trophy for our best riding pony gelding in hand. And we are continuing judging of the second of our championship classes this afternoon. This is, of course, the R.A. Pullman Perpetual Trophy, donated by Mr. Grant Pullman for the Australian National Champion Pony Hack, over 12 2 hands and not exceeding 14 hands in height. Well, the first horse makes their way out into the arena for the show jumping course. Starts at fence number 1, finishes at fence number 13. There are 13 obstacles, 16 efforts, 2 combinations. The first being 4A, 4B over in front of the Martin and Angus stand. It's an oxer to oxer combination. The second being the second last fence, the treble, coming away from the Sutter stand, with the final fence being the Australia flag. Time allowed, 83 seconds. Length of the course, 515 metres. Time being taken at 375 metres per minute. Top 8 back. We welcome out the first of our riders from Glossodia here in Sydney. Born and bred in Mackay in far north Queensland, it's the Douglas family's nomination of Finns Farm Cadell. And in the saddle from Chatham Park, Kate Hinchen. So, if you've watched show jumping many times, welcome back. So pleased you could join us for the Grand Prix. To everyone tuning in on the live stream, you are missing out on some of the best jumping this country has seen. If you're not here, why haven't you been here? You've got to leave past this year and make sure you're back next year. For those of you that have never seen show jumping before, the object of the game is to complete your round on a score of 0. If you make a mistake, jump a fence out of order, incurs elimination. Knock a fence down, whether it's one fence or the entire jump, we give you 4 jumping penalties. Our judge out here does not judge style, presentation, or even form over the fence, just whether they jump it cleanly or knock it down. Although, Di Danzy, I do agree, it is a very tricky job being the judge. But in layman's terms, any one of us could have a go at trying to judge. So Kate Hinchen, with just the one rail down so far, so 4 jumping penalties. She turns for home. She needs to complete the round under the time allowed of 83 seconds. 1 fence left to go. Hey, Sydney, warm your hands up. How about we give her a round of applause? Safely over the last. Stops the clock, 81.68, 81.68. And as the one rail down the lighthouse fence, 4 jumping penalties, no time penalties, a total of 4. And so she will carry that through. We will take our top 8. So all clear, or our top 8 through to the second round of competition. A great opening round from Kate Hinchen and Finch Farm Cadell. Second horse out, Australian representative. This is Billy Raymond, having ridden for Australia at the most recent World Equestrian Games. He rides a horse by the name of Anton, nominated by Raymond Equestrian, ridden here by Billy Raymond, formerly from Karoi on the Sunshine Coast of of Queensland, now located on the Mornington Peninsula of Victoria. He won the first class here today, the Mini Prix. Can he do the Quinella Mini Prix Grand Prix? Ladies and gentlemen, Victorian Billy Raymond riding Anton. Three fences, 4 jumping efforts left to go. Billy Raymond turns for the final line on Anton. It's a big time player. 1B. Oh, rail down at sea, unfortunately carrying the 4. He sends it to the last. Give him a round of applause. 75.33. Just the 1 rail down, 4 jumping penalties, no time penalties, a total of 4. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the fanfare sounds for the presentation of the Australian National Champion Pony Hack over 12.2, not exceeding 14 hands. Congratulations to catalogue number 1343, Rachel Ills and Claudia Douglas from Greenbank in Queensland. TL Toyboy takes the championship.
Well, TL Toyboy, Rachel Elise and Claudia Douglas from Greenbank in Queensland. There's some tears out here right now, and rightly so. They adore Bugsy. Purchased him from Terry Lamy. He's by Toy Town, and the Douglas family have a real affinity for that size progeny. A full riding pony, and the team live up in Queensland, very successful competitors. The recipients of a magnificent trophy that is being presented at the moment. The trophy being presented by Grant Pullman is the A.R. Pullman Perpetual Trophy, an Edwardian sterling silver twin-handled cup made by James Jackson and Son in Sheffield in 1903. First presented here in 1980, and the Pullman family have been associated with the Royal Easter Show for 5 generations. A.R. Pullman belonged to the 3rd generation of the family and played the most significant role, particularly in relation to pony classes at the show. Samuel Pullman, the grandfather of A.R., judged the machinery section at the first Sydney exhibition, was a forerunner of the Royal Easter Show. Well, Tim, a lovely big cheer there for our show jumping. Jump in whenever you need to. I know it's being live streamed and there's lots of great fans in the crowd here.
Thank you, Lindsay. Yes, James Arkins, just the 2 rails down, 8 jumping penalties, riding the beautiful stallion Eurostar. 8 jumping penalties, no time penalties. 2 riders on 4 jumping penalties so far. Billy Raymond and Kate Hinchen. James Arkins sitting on 8. Of course, we take the top 8 to the second round this afternoon. Next out into the arena, we welcome Tom McDermott, riding the McInerney family's nomination. Number 87 in the catalogue, number 5 in the draw, with number 4 being a scratching. This is Tom McDermott riding Warrelly Park Cortez. Well, results now from class number 434, the Welsh Stallion A, B or C or D exhibit. And congratulations to a ridden class, I should say. Congratulations to our winner. Catalogue number 1648, Taylor Lee with Katara Hashafal. Second place going to catalogue number 1283, Linda Margaret Cressini and Grand Crest Welsh Cobs from Denham Court with Grand Crest of the Lion Heart taking out second place. So well done to our winner and place getters. And Lindsay, just before we cross back to you, we're going to cast our attention back here into the show jumping. Tom McDermott, 3 fences left to go on the best possible score of 0 as he turns to the combination. This is a big effort. Over A, 2 non-jumping strides, B and C. He comes down to the final fence. Hey, Sydney, is this our first clear round? Ladies and gentlemen, 83.15, clear on jumping, 1 time penalty, but a great ride. Tom McDermott on the young horse, Warrelly Park Cortez. No jumping penalties, 1 time penalty, a total of 1 for Warrelly Park Cortez and Tom McDermott. Lindsay, looks like you've got someone standing there with you now.
I certainly do, Tim Dreverman. There are plenty of cheers going on in the show jumping arena, but there's lots of cheers over here for our large pony hacks as well. Congratulations, TL Toy Boy, the Douglas family. Not necessarily here today. They've been at Sydney Royal and backed up for 2 shows for 3 weeks prior to that. But Bianca Van Kampen on board from Tallabudgera. Magnificent pony. Congratulations. Tell us a bit about this horse.
He's literally the best horse ever, and every single ride he gives me is just literally so amazing, and I just absolutely love riding him. And I would like to thank the Douglas family for letting me ride him, and for Leander helping get him ready and everything, and for my mum, her endless support. And I hope I made you cry like I did at Toowoomba.
Well, Bianca, you're about to make me cry. I think we've got a member of the Douglas family sitting in the stands right now. I might see if I can jump over. She never wants to get on the mic with me. I'll see if I get a bit of luck with her. But well done to you. Beautifully ridden out there today. TL Toy Boy, our champion and the recipient of the A.R. Pullman Perpetual Trophy.
Well, thank you, Lindsay. Well done to the Douglas family. What a beautiful exhibit. The runner-up now working out here in our champion pony. In the arena, down here on the other end though, we welcome out Amanda Madigan. I got to watch her here last Monday, 2 rails down. Since then, this horse has not put a foot wrong. 2 from 2 in the Group A Section 1s. Bred and produced to this level by Helen Chug, Diamond B stud. Ridden to perfection by Amanda Madigan, one of our underrated riders in the sport of show jumping. She's had great success here at the Sydney Royal Easter Show. Time allowed is 83 seconds. We are travelling for our international event that we are running here this afternoon at 375 metres per minute. But great jumping as we cross back to Lindsay Douglas.
Well, Tim Dreverman, I looked up into the stands because often riding TL Toy Boy is Elise Douglas from the Douglas family who own him. And I caught Elise's eye and I said, would you please just pop down for 12 seconds and tell me a bit about how much this horse means to your family?
Yeah, once again, we'd just like to thank all the sponsors of the show and the class because obviously without sponsors, none of this would happen. Thank you to all the committee and the judges for all your time taken. We're just winning this. It's been a long time between drinks. Leander and I haven't won a Sydney Royal in about 15 years, so we're pretty happy.
Well, you win a lot of the other Royals, Elise Douglas, so congratulations to you. Leander, well done to you too. TL Toy Boy, our champion, and we await the announcement of our reserve champion, Large Pony.
Well, just the two fences, but it's the big one, the treble, and the Australian flag left to go. Amanda Madigan carrying the 12 jumping penalties. Comes down to the final fence. No problem at the last. 8 jumping penalties, I do apologise. 8 jumping penalties, just the 2 rails down. Under the time allowed, 82.74. Just under the time, 8 jumping. No time, a total of 8. The time may play dividend a little bit later on when we come back for the second round later on this afternoon. The second round will commence at 4 o'clock. As we welcome out the next of our riders, this time Isabella Stone. She rides Lincoln MVNZ, the young stallion, stepping up to World Cup level at awful timing just before COVID hit. A young horse that's had limited outings at this level has placed 2 out of the 4 days in the lead up to the final day, the Grand Prix. This is, however, the one that everyone remembers. This is the one that we all talk about. Just 23 years of age. Isabella Stone now into the arena. One of our youngest riders with Kate Hinchen in this class. She rides the young warm blood stallion, imported to Australia from New Zealand. Lincoln MVNZ in the arena.
Well, Tim Dreverman, I'm here with Grant Pullman, whose family's involvement with the Sydney Royal is as old as the Sydney Royal itself. Grant, can we talk a little bit about Samuel Pullman, the first of the Pullmans to be involved?
My great-grandfather was an engineer and he judged farm machinery at the Sydney exhibition, which was the predecessor of Sydney Show.
Then Percy Pullman, the father of A.R. Pullman, who this trophy is named after, what was his involvement?
He used to come down from the North Coast with harness horses on the train, and he actually exhibited the champion harness horse at Sydney Show.
Then along came Arthur Renwick Pullman, known as Bill. Born in 1910, he was a member of the committee for the Australian Pony Stud Book in its formative stages. His sister was involved as well. Then we go along to A.R. Pullman. Tell us about his involvement.
A.R. Pullman, or Bill Pullman, was my father, and he judged horses here every year in the 1970s and exhibited as well.
Well, we've now made the presentation to TL Toy Boy of the beautiful trophy, and we await the announcement of our reserve champion, National Pony Hack.
It'll be with us very shortly. Isabella Stone, the 1 rail down, 4 jumping penalties, no time penalties, a total of 4. Jamie Kermond now in the arena, riding Yandu Oaks Constellation. The reserve champion, Australian national champion and reserve champion, Pony Hack. The reserve champion, over 12.2, not exceeding 14 hands. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. Catalogue number 1735, the Morelli family and J. Presswich's Mandalay Silk Road, taking out the reserve champion.
Well, the gelding takes out reserve, bred by Susie Stewart. And Chelsea Morelli has had him since he was a yearling, was reserve champion at Canberra Royal last year, side by Beckworth Rising Command, and out of Mandalay Pure Silk, known as Harry at Home. And Chelsea has been riding for about 20 years. Well done to Joanne Presswich and the Morelli family.
Jamie Kermond, our rider on course. He rides John and Kerry Winning's nomination of Yandu Oaks Constellation. Member of the Australian team at the World Equestrian Games 3 times over. And it's certainly someone to keep an eye on and a name for the Tokyo Olympics.
Well, Tim Dreverman, I'm now here with Chelsea Morelli, Mandalay. Congratulations, well done.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this pony is bred by Susie Stewart, and I've owned him since a yearling, so to be here today on my own pony is really special. Just like to thank Mum and Dad, Jess and Reese, and everyone at J&R Equestrian for helping me produce him. It's really special that Susie's here today to watch him as well.
Well done to all of you. What a fantastic class we've seen out here. The A.R. Pullman champion and reserve champion, large pony hack. And that was our reserve champion, Mandalay Silk Road.
Well, as they make their way around, congratulations, 2 beautiful exhibits. Jamie Kermond completes his round. A very uncharacteristic rail over the far side of the arena. 4 jumping penalties at 4A, 81.14, no time, a total of 4. So still just the one rider with 1 time penalty. As we welcome out the next of our riders, this is Aaron Hadlow and Valen Vader. So Aaron Hadlow, our rider in the arena. Aaron comes to us from Albion Park. There'll be plenty of people watching on the live stream that be pretty grateful to Aaron's Facebook Lives over the last 5 days. Aaron, winner of the World Cup Series here in Australia. And he and his brother Tim, both elite equestrians in their own field. Tim Hadlow over here in the show horse arena. Aaron in the show jumping arena. Both young gentlemen who have been successful on multiple occasions in their own fields. Just the second fence sitting on the ground at the moment. So every time a fence needs to be rebuilt, 4 penalties are added. Interesting fact for you, you can go home and you go back to school, you can say to your teacher, what Olympic discipline do men and women compete on the same playing field? The only one is the sport of equestrian. 1 fence left to go. He comes down to the final fence. Hey, Sydney, give him a round of applause. Great ride. 80.49, 80.49. 4 jumping penalties, no time penalties, a total of 4. At this stage, we have 1-on-1 time penalty, Tom McDermott. He's our best performed rider. We have 5 horses and riders on 4 jumping penalties. We will take the top 8 back to the second round. Second round due to start at 4 o'clock this afternoon. As we now welcome out into the arena, a gentleman by the name of Mr. Stephen Dingwall from Otto Sport and Cavalier Performance Horses. Stephen, professional horse rider and trainer, rated in Australia as one of our leading young horse producers. He bought this horse as a 2-year-old with his wife Nikki and his dad Peter Dingwall, and has produced him all the way through to Grand Prix. Won the silver at the Aquas Championships up in Queensland a couple of years ago. As a young man, he was all of 11 years of age. He sat at the Canberra Royal Show and watched a man by the name of Grant Hughes ride in show jumping. He turned to his dad and said, "That's what I want to do." Fast forward some 20 years on, 25 years on now, aging us a bit, dingers. And here he is, on the biggest stage at the biggest royal show in the country, riding a horse that he produced from the start. Memphis, as he's known around the stables. Just the 3 fences left to go. 4A gets another one. Now we come up to the treble. It's oxer, vertical oxer, 2 non-jumping strides. 1 non-jumping stride. Fortunately, that's going to be 12 jumping penalties at that one fence. Safely over the last. 83.19. 16 jumping penalties, 1 time penalty. Can be a tough sport. He turned for home in a great position, but unfortunately, how the tides can change in the sport of show jumping. A young horse, another one that's just stepped up to Grand Prix level, and it's been a great week for Cavalier Duraway and Stephen Dingwall. So at the moment, top 8, Amanda Madigan is sitting in 8th, James Arkins in 7th, Kate Hinchen in 6th, Jamie Kermond in 5th, Aaron Hadlow in 4th, Isabella Stone in 3rd, Billy Raymond in 2nd, and our current leader, Tom McDermott. Top 8, back to the next round as we welcome out now number 11 in the draw, Finch Farm Spruce, and in the saddle, David Cameron. So we will take through our top 8 horses to the second round. So top 8, and the winner of the competition will be the horse rider combination with the least number of penalties over the 2 rounds and the quickest time when it gets to an equality of faults in the second round. Finch Farm Spruce, owned by Liz Watson and Lee and Bill Bryden, and was formerly ridden by Shane Rose. This horse actually went right through to 3-star eventing, but really showed an aptitude to show jumping. David took the ride from Shane and now has the lovely Liz Watson, Lee and Bill Bryden as the owners of this horse, Finch Farm Spruce. Another young horse stepping up to Grand Prix level. This combination have jumped in the Group A Section 2, so they've jumped down a grade for the show. So I can tell you this would by far be the biggest track that this horse has seen. Of course, David, no stranger to success. He jumped here in the junior show jumping. In fact, started his show jumping at the old showground in the Pony Club. Transferred here to the Sydney showground with his twin brother Ian. And Ian and David Cameron, very successful riders from Forbes. Today, David, based at Redleaf Equestrian. Out there at Wilberforce, with his gorgeous and talented wife, Talara, who's had a very successful show. Up to the treble, carrying the 4. Don't want any more mistakes. Rail down at the back part of the treble as well, carrying the 8, safely over the last. 84.70, 84.70. 8 jumping penalties, 1 time penalty, a total of 9. Welcome out now the one man who's managed to navigate this course, or the one rider who's been able to navigate this course without jumping faults. He had 1 time penalty. We saw in the mini Prix before lunch today, 1 time penalty actually put them into 2nd place. And sitting in our leading spot at the moment, all here to unfold in front of us. Can this be our first clear round? Tom McDermott, he has won this class on multiple occasions. Of course, this afternoon we are riding for the Frank Thomas Memorial Perpetual Trophy for the winning owner of the Grand Prix. Looking back at this competition, Tom McDermott won it with CP Rolex in 2012. Clint Beresford won it in 2018. Billy Raymond in 2017. And as the back rail published this morning, James Hetherington in 2016. Alison Rowland with Yolambi's Caprizino was in 2015 with Russell Johnson in 2014. So Tom, he's only ever won this once, back in 2012. Tom McDermott. Safely over the last 8 jumping penalties, 81.30. Last horse, second last horse, Sierra Casiago and Gabrielle Chug now into the ring. Well, results now from class number 506, the Child Hack over 15 hands. Congratulations to our winner, catalogue number 1708, Emily Mears' nomination of EBL Quiver. Second place going to catalogue number 1073, Holly Borfund Brown with Aviva Valagrello. Third place going to catalogue number 1022, Jodie Allen O'Sullivan with Royal Wood Centre Stage. Fourth place going to catalogue number 1090, Georgie Batten with Maine's Picture Perfect. And fifth place going to catalogue number 1067, Abby Grace Baker with Barker, I should say, with Charisma Hollywood. And I do believe Lindsay Douglas is down there with our winner. Thanks, Lindsay.
I am riding EBL Quiver today, Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth, there's a couple of happy people sitting in the crowd over there associated with Quiver. Would you like to give them a bit of a shout out?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Emily Mears for letting me ride her beautiful Quiver. She's just amazing to ride.
She is, and the Mears family have had great success with this horse out over the last at least year and a bit, bred by Andrew Buckley at EBL Stud. And EBL Quiver is the successful competitor today in our Child's Hack class.
Thank you, Lindsay. Well done. What an amazing show young Elizabeth has had. On course now, we welcome out Gabrielle Chug. And Gabrielle is riding this beautiful stallion, Sierra Casiago. Of course, Gabby, one half of the Chuggy Equestrian, her and her husband Chris Chug. Both had great success here for many years at the Sydney Royal Easter Show. This year, the riding duties being left to Gabby. Chris's great horse, PWS Levelinsky, just back from injury. And although fit, Chris just wasn't quite comfortable to have him jumping here each and every day. Gabby, winner of World Cups. And Sierra Casiago, just carrying the 4 jumping penalties. Safely over the last, 82.76, 82.76. You'll be able to hear all about this week's jumping on the brand new podcast, The Back Rail, with Mr. Stephen Lamb. Look forward to hearing that in the coming weeks. Sierra Casiago, 8 jumping penalties, no time penalties, a total of 8. 1 horse and rider still to go. Last 2 riders. As we welcome out the next of our riders. Last horse into the ring, current Australian show jumping champion, This is Amber Fuller, winner of our only international event in 2020-21. She won the World Cup qualifier down at Dressage Jumping with the Stars just a couple of weeks ago. The Douglas families, CP Arantino, ridden from a young horse by this young lady here, Amber Fuller. I love it when I've got avid listeners out in the grandstand. Of course, Amber, for those of you who were following closely, 2018 show jumping champion. Just aging myself a little bit. Tom, our current Australian show jumping champion. Amber Fuller. Yet to see a clear round. Oh, 2 fences left to go. Cross your fingers. Cross your toes. Hold your breath. Look at the time. It's going to be okay. She's got 1 fence left to go. Can our last horse be our first clear round? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we've taken 14 horses, but we got there. Amber Fuller rises to the top. They say diamonds are made in a pressure cooker. It was a pressure ride. What a great round. Let's give her another round of applause. Come on, Sydney. That's our only clear round here this afternoon. She'll go into the second round of competition with no jumping penalties, no time penalties, and all clear. And a great effort for Amber. So we have Amber Fuller on a clear. Tom McDermott on 1. We'll then take our we'll take our 4 falters. And I'll have that list for you in a moment. And the second round, Lindsay Douglas, will be commencing at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Well, the loveliest lineup of Welsh pony mayoral geldings have just made their way over to ring 3. They're about to be judged by Jenny Sesnick, and they're not exceeding 12-2. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beautiful exhibits out here, Tim Dreverman. And I think we've just welcomed in our eligible competitors for National Champion Galloway.
We most certainly have. Thank you, Lindsay. We have welcomed out those that are eligible in front of our judge, Mr. Simon Durant, for the Jeff Whidden Memorial Perpetual Trophy, donated by the late H.G. Whidden for the Australian National Champion Galloway. Each of these nominations will do an individual workout in front of our judge, and we will present the next of our champions over here in front of the Sydney Royal Stand throughout the afternoon. So you'll see our ring crew changing the course. We will not be back for an hour and 23 minutes. 4 p.m. First horse will be on course for the second round. So we're going to change our attention down here to our Galloway competition. And of course, on the other side of the arena where Lindsay Douglas is, that beautiful ridden Welsh class.